City Combs, it worked. Those vehicles left the house shortly before we learned Combs' private plane had landed at Opa-locka Airport just after 1.
Bro, dead.
Since federal agents served one of 2 search warrants here Monday, a celebrity-soaked narrative exploded into the headlines about a sex trafficking investigation headed by federal prosecutors in New York City. That criminal case may draw witnesses and probable cause from the series of civil lawsuits from prior girlfriends and a producer with stories, photos, and as documented video of underage sex trafficking, drug-fueled sex abuse, intimidation, and violence. Which crimes
Implicit or was maybe a co-actor in some of these crimes.
That seems to be what the intent was of the search warrants both here and in LA.
Shouts out to 10 News, Florida. You know I gotta represent. I'm an earbug, y'all, cause I don't give. But like, I watched that. That's I put it in. I put an antenna on my TV. I get that. We lit out here. Diddy throwing it. Bro, let me stop, bro.
Also.
Okay, so 35 minutes past the hour now, and we are learning more about the sex trafficking raids on mansions belonging to Sean Diddy Combs.
This is from 6 hours ago, by the way.
LA Times reports that agents seized hard drives and electronics. And what else? Derek Parker's
So what we're hearing is that when they first went in, they immediately went to the surveillance room, and actually they had disabled it before they got there. That's like some crazy shit. Like, I don't know what type of hacking. You know, you see you ever watch these movies? I'm watching spy movies or whatever. You see somebody in a white truck outside.
Mission Impossible. Shout out Scientology.
Apparently they disabled it before they got in, but the first thing they did was they went straight to the surveillance room, which supposedly they knew where that was. They grabbed everything they needed to grab, whatever DVRs, maybe any type of local storage. Maybe if there was cassette tapes, maybe if there was CDs or DVDs, and probably, if there was any type of cloud, storage, they probably were either briefed on that or probably were trying to make sure that they could, salvage that.
Someone in chat said Diddy's son ain't been the same since his dad stole his girlfriend. Oh no.
Information that they could,
Derek Parks being here. So the reason why we know about this is because at least 4 civil suits have been filed against him. And in those, so the police made a move this year.
Well, once they mounted
that the feds searched these 3 mansions and allegedly may have even searched his New York, I think it's penthouse or whatever, that they've searched all these things, and what we haven't heard is about them finding any weapons. Not that they were looking for weapons, but if they find weapons, they're, even if they're not looking for it, they're probably gonna just do their due diligence, check to make sure that it's a legal gun, this and third. We haven't heard nothing. I'm pretty sure there was some weapons around. No fucking way. 3 mansions, even though he has security, I get it. No weapons, no guns, no nothing.
Emptied safe, dismantled electronics, and left papers strewn in some rooms. Federal agents disabled his security system and seized the hard drive. That's a source according to the Times. So on the hard drive, that's where I assume they believed they needed it.
And this is Homeland, bro. So Homeland is built for cracking into things, bro. Think about that.
They search everything in the house, from floors to cabinets to safes. They're all specified in the warrant.
Okay, so I mentioned the lawsuits, right? Just put those up here. This goes back to November of last year, right? Cassie, former girlfriend,
yes,
files these suits. The next month you have Jane Doe, not public, right? Says she was gang raped at age 17. Then you had a suit in February, another suit in March. If they go forward with this trial, where the raids happen in LA and the raids happen in Miami, the trial comes in New York?
Well, the Southern District is the one that's probably orchestrating everything right now. So everything that's coming out of this case is going to come from New York. Even though it's in Miami, even though it's in LA or whatever it is, they're going to take over. The Southern District is going to take. They initiated the case, and they're going to take the case.
Do you have any insight into his state of mind right now?
Not really. Listen, I knew Diddy back when I arrested him for the Club New York shooting, and then the assault with Steve Stout at MTV.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Oh, this guy's a former police officer.
Come from New York, even though it's in Miami. Even though it's in LA or whatever it is, they're going to take over the Southern District.
Bro said he caught boy twice. You an embarrassment to the Scorpios. I fucking spit on thee.
Not really. Listen, I knew Diddy back when I arrested him for the Club New York shooting and then the assault with Steve Stout at MTV. We know each other pretty well, I mean, professionally. But I haven't seen him in years. But right now, it's got to be bothering him. You know, I mean, he's at this height in his life where he's a billionaire almost. And he's very, very well liked by some people, not by others. But he's very famous. I know this has got to be bothering him right now. All these allegations that have come out against him and the people that come out against him.
I got some worse from Drake too, bro. You better answer that,
I
nigga.
mean, you guys have that relationship, right?
You better answer that, nigga.
Yeah, I've been following him from the time when I knew
Has he
him.
been living a clean life?
For the most part, I could say yes and maybe no. I mean, there's other people that if you ask, they're going to say no, that he's lived different lives.
I got to keep you on speed dial. I want to find out how you get to be the hip hop cop.
Well, we had a problem back in the days with the
Shit. Real shit. Drake. You better answer that, nigga. I like swimming pools. I like poetic justice. I like all that shit. Answer that, nigga. Nobody gives a fuck about how much we know. Answer that, nigga.
rap music.
Derek, nice to see you.
Nice.
That's interesting. And I have hip, super interesting, and super interesting. And you know what it kind of told me? Because keep in mind, hey, let's say the feds ran in, they were hoping to find some incriminating shit. Let's say Diddy cleaned up. We're not saying the incriminating shit existed, but let's say he cleaned up. You can't find nothing. You can't find no videotape.
Excuse
you,
you,
can't find
nigga.
no hard evidence, no texts, nothing like that. I don't think the feds want to come out empty-handed on this. Even if it's going to be, oh, we got him on illegal weapons possession, and they might just charge a bunch of people. Like, they want to get something, right? This is what I was thinking about, and I'm wondering if the feds talk to this guy. Because you know who's been very vocal recently? The woman who was allegedly shot by Diddy, she's speaking up a lot. She's speaking up recently, and actually she just was on national media.
I'm sorry, yo. That Drake shit got me hot, yo. Drake better answer that, nigga. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. I know I'm booted. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah, I think recently, talking about, all these raids. Let me see. Here we go.
She joins us now.
And I'm wondering if the feds are saying, hey, listen, I forgot how Diddy was charged then, but the feds could pick that up under some type of racketeering and use that because she's clearly down to talk. She's a victim, right? Maybe try to dig this case up and be like, yo, if we can't get him on some of the sexual assault shit and sex trafficking shit, let's get him on some shit that he shot a chick in the face. And yes, he, quote, unquote, got off that case, but we have the witness who's still alive, who's still down to talk, and we could probably dig up some other things and probably other people to corroborate and actually get him charges on that. Anyway, this is the woman who got shot in the face in the club in 1999. Shine was the fall person for that. He got actually sentenced and deported. However, this woman has always maintained that it wasn't Shine who shot her. She said it was Diddy. Listen to her.
Now sharing her story. Natanya, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999 and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days.
This
What
happened
was your
before my
reaction
time, so I don't
when
really
you
know
saw
much about it.
these
But I
massive
remember
raids,
she got shot
at
and
P. Diddy's two
everybody had to
homes?
go hush because of Diddy.
First and foremost, thank you for having me. It was very emotional. In short, it was extremely emotional because it was basically it marked 25 years, a quarter of a century since this occurred. And I've had to relive this over and over again, intermittently in that time. So when I saw it, it was very cathartic because I finally felt like justice would be done. Justice would be mine and belong to all of his victims.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Yo, give me a sec. I definitely believe her, and I give a fuck. But like, my bro just texted a nigga right now, like, good afternoon. Yo, what's up, gang? I'm on stream right now, yo. And, yo, you know, my day going fine. You know, we at work with it. We still streaming with it, bro. Good afternoon, bro. Hope your day coming along, bro. God bless, bless. You already know, bro. We working hard. We gang shit on me. Fuck it, let's
Well,
go.
I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to was
The trigger. But this is interesting, Tanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So
That's another thing. We haven't heard J-Lo being mentioned. I'm wondering how hard the feds are going to go. And I can imagine they would. They're going to go pretty hard. And I wouldn't be shocked if not only they talk to this woman, if they're going to try to maybe bring charges in relation to this. And keep in mind, for people who might be saying, well, it's double jeopardy. Again, I don't know what Diddy was charged with. Then I know he was picked up. But
Let's be real, guys. We don't know if Diddy's gonna go to jail. He might, due to some evidence and how they're planning to tie this. And I do think the guy from Syracuse is gonna fold. But hey, man. Hey,